Joey Mercury, my man. I love you, Joey. Joey Matthews was here in OVW. We were just talking about him, answered a question on the Drive-Thru, I think, here not long ago. He was the driving force, the brains behind the team of M&M. Him and Johnny Nitro, John Morrison, and Melina, when they were in OVW, he came up with these ideas for these outfits. They had the full-length fur coats. They had the entrance with the paparazzi and the fucking music that was cool, and they looked just so modern, right? And they took them up there and they used them for a while. I thought they should have pushed them farther, but their tag teams had a certain level at that point. But anyway, I've been a fan. Joey's been around the wrestling business since he was a teenager, and he's devoted his life to it. And he knows and will admit he's made a few mistakes, but I've always enjoyed being around him, working with him. And so I feel like I identify with what happened to him recently. And I was mentioning to you when we were off the air this past week, we were talking about it. It was 7 years. It was Halloween week. It was the first weekend of November of 2012 when I just melted down in Ring of Honor, right? That TV taping in Bell Vernon, in the unheated ice rink with the no pipe and drape, for the 5 hours of TV with the Steve Corino was injured and down and nobody was there in the office and the whole 9 yards. I melted down. I'm screaming out in the back parking lot. I'm going to choke the fucking life out of Greg Gilliland, the office manager. And, basically, boom, I'm going to have a heart attack. And that's when I decided. When I got back home that week to Louisville, I didn't leave town for 4 months. I went on a diet. I lost 20 pounds. And tried to wring my brain out, as the big cat would say. And that was basically, as we all know, over Greg the office boy. And I saw Greg, and I told this story on the experience here this past April at the Crockett Cup. It was a joint promotion between the NWA and Ring of Honor, and using the Ring of Honor television equipment, which they had finally gotten years after I departed. And I saw Greg, and he stuck his hand out, and I stuck my hand out, and I shook his hand, and I said, Greg, it worked out well for the both of us. I said, I'm doing better than I ever have doing my own thing, and I didn't have a heart attack or a stroke. I said, and look at you, he was in a suit. I said, look at you, you're in a suit, you're running the whole thing, and I didn't strangle you. So it worked out good for both of us. And we exchanged a few witty pleasantries and then went on our separate ways. And 7 years later, another wrestling guy has had enough of the guy wearing the tie. Greg's the guy I had to talk Charlie Haas out of knocking out. I went to him and he laughed at me. Like I said, Charlie Haas is going to knock you out. You talk to him that way again. He laughed. I said, you can laugh. I said, I'm serious. He will knock you out. I'll fire him, but you'll still be unconscious. And the ring crew hated him, and everybody hated him, and everybody hated to deal with him because you get a 20-something-year-old guy, he's 30-something now, and you put him in charge of shit, especially people that are not used to having civilians in charge of them, and he has no humbleness. He doesn't know what he doesn't know, and he won't admit what he doesn't know, and he wants to tell people what he thinks he knows. So now, 7 years later, almost to the week, almost to the day, over in England, apparently, Joey Mercury blows up because, just like I did in Bell Vernon, one of the guys is injured. In this case, is Jay Lethal, broke his arm. I'm looking around for people responsible, and they've all left. Apparently, Greg was either pre or post nap, according to the Twitter from Joey Mercury. When he was looking for him to inform him one of the guys was down. Apparently, it was the same basic type of treatment that they were doing then. They've still done now. And Joey Mercury has melted fucking down and is maligning, i.e. telling the truth about his relationship with Greg Gilliland of Ring of Honor in incredibly detailed ways. Would you not say that's incredibly detailed, if still a bit mysterious, incredibly detailed at the same time?
Yeah, fully understand everything Joey was saying at times.
He's doing it in quite an interesting fashion, but
Yeah.
he even put pipe and drape in one of the fucking emails or one of the Twitters. When he called him, he's not a management, he's boy management instead of man. But yeah, is what happens when you push us wrestling folks too far, especially when you're an accountant with a bad haircut. And to just look at Greg, he's a Republican. You can just see it all over his face. He's the epitome of a young guy that's still a Republican.
I saw Joey put out, what were they, text messages? Because then eventually Greg was stop putting out my text messages, and I saw that text message too. Yeah,
his Twitter is Joey in Retrograde. At Joey in Retrograde. You can find it, I guess, that way. But anyway.
Did you see the other wrestlers come out to support him?
Well, yes. Yeah, because they've all been living with it. And we want to say get well to Jay Lethal, because I hate to hear, but at least apparently a broken arm. Well, it's better than like tearing an ACL or something. That's a huge reconstructive surgery. The broken arm, you can put a cast on it, and hopefully he'll be back soon. But any injury like that is not good. So I hope Jay's okay. And no thanks again. That weekend, Gary Jester had taken off as soon as the last bell rang because he'd been there since 3:00 and he was tired and wanted to find a Starbucks. And Ross, the merchandise weasel, had left with all the merchandise money because he'd been there all day and he was miserable because he hated Greg. And Ross, the merchandise weasel, wasn't even stealing from the company yet. That wouldn't come till later when the Sinclair fired him for selling stock under the table. And Greg had driven Joe Koff back to the Pittsburgh airport. So it left me and Delirious with a fucking ambulance loading a fucking guy up, and good luck. So I know how Joey felt, whatever the case. But this did bring up an interesting name from the past, because when I was made aware that Joey was tweeting all this stuff and I looked at it, I said, holy shit, I just tweeted back to Joey. It looks like at Joey in Retrograde, and I have things in common, ...